Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Child Development Podcast. And we are in season number 2. Obviously, from our previous engagement, we launched episode number 1 of season number 2, where we looked at a very exciting, intriguing, mind-blogging and engaging conversation with our resident expert in human capital development and also child development, who is Professor Yamba. Today, we are exploring episode number 2, where we are looking at creating a nurturing environment. And we will discuss how both the physical and emotional environments play a critical role in a child's cognitive development. Our key thematic word is cognitive development through and through in our conversation. So from setting up a stimulating and safe space for exploration to fostering a loving and supportive atmosphere at home. This episode will cover various strategies to help you and me as young parents to create a conducive environment to support our child's cognitive development. What do we do at this point? Let's dive in and introduce our guest speaker on the show, Professor Yamba.
Thank you
once again, welcome to the Child Development Podcast.
We are marching on, and sharing this information freely to our society,
Yes.
so they can benefit from it. We obviously want to build a great society.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I love the word that you've used. We are marching on. We are unstoppable.
Absolutely.
At this point in time, this is a conversation that I wish we had 60 years ago.
Yeah, true. But it's never too late.
It's never too late.
There's
right?
always a starting point, because, Zambia will be here for as long as God allows it.
Yes. Yes.
We know that at some point, we are told from the biblical point of view,
Yes.
The world will come to an end. Yeah. So, but Zambia will be there until that time.
It reminds me how in the year 2000,
Yes.
that was 1999, I was still a young adult.
Yes.
There was strong rumor
Oh, yes, I remember.
that 2000, the world is coming to an end. And I remember that time there was even a prayer meeting which was organized at church. That all of us Christian believers, let us gather in one environment.
Yeah.
Let us pray. And as the world is ending, Christ should find us in the right place. That's how we left home. We went to the church.
Yes.
Prayed and prayed and prayed. It was a new dawn.
It's always a new dawn. Yes.
2000, and everyone was like, oh, okay, who prophesied that the world is coming to an end? Yeah.
We are just human, and so when it comes to such issues, we cannot predict at all.
Yes.
So anyway, Zambia will still be there, and as you said, yes, it would have been nice if there was this kind of conversation 60 years ago.
Yes.
But this is also, we can take this as a beginning point. So it's okay.
But Prof, I know there could be others who are joining us for the first time, watching and listening to us.
Yes.
Now, you are a specialized scientist focusing on animal physiology.
Yes.
While everyone is expecting professors like yourselves to come up, with groundbreaking discoveries about, for instance, in your field, how you can improve techniques, technologies.
Yes.
But at such a time as this,
Yes.
in your evening years,
In my evening years, yes.
all right, you decide to talk about children. When we are the ones who are supposed to be talking about children, all right.
Yeah, and that's a good observation, Emmanuel. Why should I start talking about children, really, when I'm supposed to be discovering things in the laboratory or supervising those who are supposed to be discovering things and so on? Yes. My interest really comes as a result of the fact that over years, as a teacher in the higher education sector, I have seen a deterioration in the quality of education, in the quality of students that we are receiving in higher education institutions. This is public knowledge. I'm not saying things that people don't know out there. It's public knowledge. And so I wanted to find out, but what is going on? Yeah. And so through interaction with many scientists, especially outside Zambia, outside Africa, having been at the time president of the Zambia Academy of Sciences, that took me to different parts of the world. And so I started learning that, everything when it comes to every country's development, social and economic development. The technology that we are having today and everything. Everything is dependent on human beings.
Yes. Human beings.
Human beings. So it's about human capital.
All right.
It's human beings who drive everything. And then you have to have, now what sort of human beings? It's competent human beings.
Yes.
Competent human beings who have the knowledge, who have the skill, and who have the right attitude.
Who have the knowledge?
The skill,
and the right attitude. Now I'm going to mark the third one.
Yes.
Right attitude.
Which you can call the growth mindset.
Growth. Oh, I love that. Growth mindset.
Exactly.
All right.
But how do these things come about? How does a person become competent? Is it when they go to university? I discovered that, but look, we do have university graduates, that we're churning out, not so.
Yes.
Every year we're churning out college and university students, graduates.
Yes.
But what are they doing in the economy? Nothing. They want to look for jobs. Why are they not creating jobs? I discovered that because competence is lacking. So, as I mentioned, through a lot of interaction with the fine scientists.
Yes.
I came to discover that, in fact, everything begins in the early years. And of course, I have read a lot of literature. The early years, in particular, the first 5 years.
5 years.
The first 5 years.
Okay.
But let's take it to the first 1,000 days, because this is what I think many people have heard about. The first 1,000 days. These are critical. So it means from the time that we are conceived in the womb of our mothers up to the time that we are 2 years old. Because this is the time,
Yes.
that number one, we have a proliferation of brain cells.
Okay.
And at the time we are born, we should have, on average, 100 billion neurons.
100 billion neurons.
100 billion.
Yeah.
And then number two, that during that period, these neurons or brain cells begin connecting, forming what we call synapses, which provide for what we call neural pathways through which information passes. And of course, another thing that happens, and you recall we talked about it in one of the episodes, I think it was the second episode, and that's season 1, that there's a fatty material called myelin, which coats around these cells. This is for fast movement of the messages.
Yes.
Okay. And I think I should go back a little bit on the formation of the synapses. Again, if you recall, we say that every 1 second, you have over 1 million synapses being formed.
Yeah.
Every 1 second during these first 1,000 days. So the first 1,000 days are very critical. And we talked about, of course, nutrition being very important in that aspect. And so this forms the basis of our thinking, the basis of our reasoning, the basis of our understanding things, the basis of our everything that you can think about a human being.
Yeah.
It's that time is really the foundation. It forms the foundation. And is to cut the long story short, if we do not have a proper environment in terms of nutrition and also the physical environment and so on, then we miss an opportunity to become great people, because we have gaps. We have gaps in the cognitive development.
Yes.
So, and when we have gaps in there, it means that even when we grow up, because of those gaps, inside there,
yes,
it will be difficult for us to comprehend a lot of things. Problem solving will be difficult. Even just attainment of good education will be difficult. Even when we struggle and finish education, we start working, our performance will not be that great. In other words, we'll just be workers. And I think we have said this many times. We'll just be workers. And so from all this, I said, wow, I think my contribution now at this point, even in my evening years, is to help my nation become a great nation. If people can pick up 1 or 2 things from my messages, I'm sure it will be better tomorrow. I may not be there, but I'm planting a seed. So that really is my interest, why I picked up that interest. Because I know we can become a great nation. And we must.
Brilliant. Brilliant. And this is what I wanted our viewers, our listeners, to appreciate. Obviously, for those that are joining us for the first time, that a prof of high, if it drives me back, the time when I was still a debater in high school, would say a man of high umbrella jobbability with big dreams and big visions.
Because through that we know that when these young people get into high school and now tertiary education, they are ripe. You are sure they will become innovators.
Absolutely.
They will make our economy more exciting.
Indeed.
I think right now we should all accept that our economy is not exciting.
No,
we should accept that. If we accept, then that's step number one. Towards making it more exciting. Yes.
So, Prof, creating a nurturing environment.
Yes.
That's our subject matter for episode number 2. Episode number 1, we talked about parenting styles.
Yes.
And obviously the importance of discipline in child development.
Yes.
But now today, let us explore how, with a parenting style and positive discipline strategies, all right, can be incubated in a nurturing environment that would see us as parents raising, for instance, like you are mentioning, that raising a generation of creators, of innovators, of critical thinkers, empathetic leaders, but most importantly, responsible children who will grow up to become adults,
absolutely,
who will steer the social, economic, and political development
Yes,
of our
yes.
great nation, which we
Yes.
call Zambia.
Yes.
So, how can the physical surroundings of a child influence their cognitive development? That's my first question to you.
Yes, believe it or not, just providing a good physical environment
Yeah.
matters. A good physical environment, okay? So that as the child, walks around in that environment, they feel great.
Yes.
And just that, it adds to this formation of, of the synapses and the cognitive
Functions.
function.
Okay.
Just the physical environment, it has got an impact on that. Okay? So, what sort of physical environment do you want to provide? It must be safe to the child. You don't want a child to be moving and then they bump themselves into this and that and so on. So it must be an environment which is clutter-free, clutter-free.
Clutter-free, all right.
Space, yeah, meaning that things nicely arranged and just free, okay, so that it allows free movement of a child. And of course, a child should also be able to explore within that free, clutter-free environment.
Environment, yeah.
Yeah. Allow a child to explore. Okay. Then also, if you are able to provide the toys and learning materials, and of course, depending on the age, of a child, these toys and learning materials will differ, not so. Yeah.
Definitely they will.
Yeah, a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, and so on. Those of you who are able to afford to buy these toys and learning, materials, so ensure that you provide age-appropriate toys and learning materials. Yeah. Okay, and people think these are just toys.
Okay.
No. They stimulate sensory experiences.
Okay.
Yeah. They stimulate.
Sensory.
Exactly. Experiences. So those puzzles that you go and buy, those puzzles, those building blocks, and many other toys that you buy, they are not just toys for children to play with and it ends there. Okay, they are there to stimulate the child's development cognitively. Okay, and then of course you can also create some designated areas for different activities. Yeah. Provide a reading corner, for example, for your child. Let your child start knowing that, I can read.
I love that.
And by the way, yes. Expose them. By the way, expose children to reading when they are just born.
But how? This is just a newborn baby. How do you expose them to reading?
A newborn baby hears what you are saying. Hearing is the first sense that develops. In fact, it develops while we're still in the womb.
In the womb.
Yes.
So this is the reason why we're encouraged to speak to
absolutely
the baby inside the womb.
Yes. So you can read some stories to the child. I mean, the baby is newly born, but you can begin reading to them. They're hearing. They may not be able to speak, of course, but they are hearing. Because if you expose them that early, as they grow up and now develop those senses where they can now begin reading on their own, and they get to know, this is a reading corner, you will always find them there. And so this is how you develop the reading culture. Emmanuel.
No wonder it's called the culture.
Exactly. Emmanuel, let me tell you,
Yeah.
and this is a scientific truth. I speak science. If you think that your child will only become interested in reading when they go to school, you have killed the nation. You have killed the nation.
Yeah, interesting perspective.
Yes. So children must be exposed to reading, even when they are not yet able to read. But you are reading for them. And they're hearing.
That's how you build that culture.
That's how you build that culture.
So whenever we say, no, Zambia's reading culture is very poor, it emanates from there.
It emanates from there. From there. That is where it comes from.
Yeah. I'm connecting the dots.
You're connecting the dots.
So
have that reading corner, the play area, and also a quiet zone where a child can simply, go and just be there, spend time quietly.
Yeah.
So create that kind of physical environment. Then also ensure that you have adequate lighting and comfortable seating to support reading and studying. Yes. I know that, again, when you go back to our experiences, what were we using? Some of us, what do you call these?
Candlelight.
Not even a candlelight. We started with
Koloboy. Yeah.
We started from there.
Just on that, on Facebook, I saw one of my parent. I think it was late last year.
Yes.
When these grade 12s were about to write the exams. So he posted on Facebook that I was encouraging my son that if you don't get 6 points, you'll be out of this house. Because myself, I got 6 points, and you right now you have all the lighting, all the study space. During our time, we didn't have electricity or any source of light. During this time, like around November, close to December, the October, November, December. I used to study by the light spread through lightning. So when you have I look at my notes. Again, wait for the next episode.
Oh my goodness me.
Yeah.
But anyway, we are in this era where I think we can do that. And I know that we are going through tough times when we talk about lighting. The power cuts, the load shedding, management, and so on. So it's affecting the situation. But probably we can start using other technologies, solar and so on. But I think it's our responsibility as a nation to ensure that young people have access to good lighting. Because remember that everything that we are doing is about the future of our nation. It's about the future. So we define the future. If there's no proper lighting, we're defining the future. Because we have individuals who do not have access to lighting 24/7. So it affects their performance later on. Okay. And then, of course, another thing that I want to mention, Emmanuel, is try to include the nature elements. Nature is good. Things like plants. Have plants in your environment. It is good for the children. Okay, because it creates a calming and inspiring atmosphere. Of course, there are many things that you can do, but these are some of the basics that you really need to do to create an environment for your child. Again, let me reemphasize, these are not theories.
Yes. Not
We are
theories
not
at all.
talking theories.
Yeah.
We are talking practical things for the sake of our nation. If we want this nation to be a great nation,
Indeed.
these are the things
That
that we must
do.
do.
I love that. Things that we must do.
Yes.
Prof.
It's an environment.
I understand, Prof,
Yes.
that yes, there's a physical environment, which obviously shape our responsiveness
Yes.
and interaction to nature,
Yeah.
which contributes to our cognitive development
Yes. Yes.
as children.
Yes.
All right. But there's also the aspect of the emotional environment. Why is emotional support? You've talked about the physical
Yes.
support.
Yes.
All right. And then you've shared key elements of safe and stimulating spaces that encourage learning and also discovery. Now, let us look at the internal aspect,
Yes.
which is the emotional environment. So why is emotional support very essential when it comes to nurturing cognitive development?
Well, without emotional support, you kill the child. Because, first of all, you must show love to your child.
Yes.
I mean, you can provide a good physical environment, but if you don't show love to your child, you are significantly affecting their cognitive development. Just this love. In fact, the first 1,000 days, if I can go back to there, for you to achieve this 1 million synapses being formed every second, love is number one. The love that you show to your child. Just that. Okay? So, show consistent love. Support and positive reinforcement to build your child's self-esteem.
Yeah. Self-esteem.
Self-esteem.
All right.
This is very important. Create an open, non-judgmental space. Where children feel comfortable expressing their feelings. Don't suppress their feelings. And again, when you go back, when we talked about the parenting styles in the last episode.
Yes.
We talked about, these authoritarians and so on. You are suppressing your child's feelings. And when you suppress the child's feelings, you create fear in them. So create that environment where children can express their feelings and don't judge them. Okay? The other thing is be a good listener.
Be a good listener.
Be a good listener.
All right.
As the child is talking to you, listen. So practice active listening, showing empathy and understanding towards your child's emotions.
Very important.
Very, very important. Otherwise, you're killing your child. You're killing your child. Encourage children to talk about their day. If they are going to school, preschool, for example, when they come back, let them talk about what were their experiences. Many parents are not even interested. They think that, teachers are doing their job there. No, you as parents, and by the way, we're assuming that you are authoritative parents rather than authoritarians or
uninvolved or permissive. All right.
Okay, so let them talk about their day, their feelings, and any concerns that they may have.
Yeah.
Let them talk. Listen to them. Encourage them where you must
Pay
encourage
attention.
them. Exactly. Yeah. And if they've got any concerns, maybe they've got a concern about a teacher.
Yeah.
Listen to them. Don't
brush it off.
Don't brush it off. No, well, look.
Yeah.
No. Be interested. And if you have to bring this to the attention of the management of the school where they go to, do that. Yeah. Of course, do that in positively. In a positive manner.
Positive setting.
Yeah, we know that there are some parents when their child comes back and say, "Oh, daddy, mommy, look, this is what this teacher did to me." And they go there fuming. No, it's not necessary.
Unleashing, their oomph. So, Prof, we've talked about emotional support, which is very essential for nurturing cognitive development. And you've also shared strategies for fostering, just right there, a loving and supportive atmosphere.
Yes.
All right. At home. As they say, charity begins at home. So it is from there that you create that conducive environment.
Yes.
Both physical and emotional. That is essential for ensuring that the child that you're raising fully develops into an intelligent, effective, responsible, innovative, and creator.
Correct.
Who then contributes now to the bigger picture.
The bigger picture.
Which is sustainable development.
That is always our, it must be our focus all the time.
Yes.
To contribute to the bigger picture. Yes.
Now, when you go in different settings, whether you're an academician, you're an artist, you're an athlete, they always talk about maintaining routine and structure for consistent engagement.
Yes.
If you are to see results.
Correct.
All right.
Yeah.
That's why you would see athletes going to the gym more than 3-4 times in a day. You would see academicians spending several hours in the lab, in research or studying. You would even see entrepreneurs, all right, having a routine, which is a pattern that informs their consistent engagement in their daily deliverables. So let us bring it back home now to our conversation on child development. What role do routine and structure play in creating a nurturing environment that is conducive for cognitive development?
Yes. Obviously, routine and structure is very important because it creates a situation where everything is predictable.
Yeah.
Okay? And that is important in our development as human beings, where you can predict that, this will happen this way and this way. So on a daily basis, you are able to predict. And this is why if you have a society or a population, that that has what we are talking about, they are well developed cognitively. They can predict, for example, what 5 years from now
will be like
10 years from now, 20 years, 30, 40,
100 years.
100 years.
Yeah.
You can predict. So it is important that you establish a consistent daily routine that includes, for example, time for meals, time for play, time for learning, time for rest. A child must have all these. You don't simply wake up and say, okay, now It's time to play.
Yeah. Or now it's time
Or
to
now
eat.
no. Do this consistently on a
Consistently.
daily basis.
Yes.
They know when they wake up, this is what they must do. Yeah. After, if it is bathing, they bath. After bathing, what do? They have to have a meal.
Meal, yes.
Yeah. After a meal, what happens?
Play a bit.
Play a bit. So you have to consist so that a child,
It registers.
it registers.
Or it programs in their mind.
programs in their minds that this is what I must be doing.
This is my structure.
Exactly. This is my structure. That is very important because they become organized. Even in life, as they grow up, they become organized. And, that kind of organization helps everyone to, to experience
Yes.
good life. Because you know that when we wake up, this is what we're going to do. And after that, we are going to do this. And after that, we'll do this.
Yes.
That kind of environment is important. At home, even at places of work.
Of work, yes.
And everywhere, in school and so on. So, you establish that. And of course, I've mentioned the rest as well, but there's time to rest as well.
Yes.
So, it's not just work, and do other, but time to rest is also important.
Important, yeah.
Then create a predictable schedule that helps children feel secure and understand expectations. Yeah. What do I expect from the children?
Yeah.
It's important for them to know, okay, this is what dad expects. This is what the teachers expect, mom, and so on and so on.
Yes. The community of practice.
The community of exactly,
Yes.
exactly. Okay. Allow flexibility within the routine. Yeah. Of course, this is important. While yes, you create this kind of routine, daily routine, but allow some flexibility within that routine. Yeah. To adapt to the child's changing needs and interests.
Yeah.
As they grow, their needs are changing.
Yes.
Their interests are changing.
I change it.
Yeah. So you obviously don't want to create robots. No. you want to have children, who can on their own think.
Yeah.
Yeah. You remember at some point, I think the last season, in one of the episodes,
Yeah.
we talked about the executive functions.
Executive functions. Yes. Yes. I remember
and
very
one
well.
of the executive functions we talked about was the cognitive flexibility.
Cognitive flexibility. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. Where, a person can do multitasking. They can do this and do the other thing. So if they fail, if they do one thing and it fails,
Yes.
there's an alternative. If the alternative fails,
What we
there's
call plan B.
yeah, what we call plan B, yeah, by the way.
Yes.
What we call plan B.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's also plan C and plan
C,
D.
Plan D, plan E, F.
Exactly.
You continue exploring
You continue exploring.
all possible alternatives.
Yes. So it comes from there. It doesn't come about when you have finished your university degree
Yes.
or college education. No. It comes from as far back as this period that we're talking about, the under 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So allow that flexibility. Then you can use visual schedules or charts to help, for example, younger children understand and follow the routine. Yeah, if you are able to do that as a parent, and also encourage regular sleep patterns by maintaining consistent bedtime routines. So let your child know it's time to go to bed. If it is 20 hours or 21 hours, it's time to go to bed.
Now I'm laughing.
Why are you laughing?
Me and my wife, perhaps we've been caught as culprits
Okay.
in that category. Because first of all, when you look at our two kids, in as much as we've tried so hard, Well, there has been a lot of inconsistencies.
Okay.
So, like last night, our daughter Gabriela went to bed by 9, and then she wakes up right on the dot at 5. She wakes up at 5. She wakes me up. She goes to the mother, goes to the brother. Like at that time, like since she's active and up, she wants everyone to be at her same levels.
Yeah. Yeah.
But today, right now, I can hear someone in the background
yes.
making noise and screaming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So it is important that children get to know it's time to sleep.
Yes.
Don't let them loose where they can go up to midnight. If you parents are going at midnight, then they also stay on up to midnight.
Midnight, 01, 02.
No. So it is important that you create that structure. Yes.
All right, Prof. Thank you so much for sharing with us the routine and structure that is essential to ensuring that we as parents create a nurturing environment which is conducive to cognitive development. And obviously, in your sessions as well, you've shared with us very key nuggets on how we can establish daily routines that balance structured activities with opportunities for free play and exploration. Now, in episode 1, obviously, when we were looking at the different parenting styles, we looked at authoritarian, authoritative, permissive, and also uninvolved.
Yes.
All right. So, on the authoritarian part, you brought out a very key point where you mentioned that children that have been raised up in a more strict military kind of environment, they grow up with fear and they resent.
Exactly.
So meaning that they cannot engage because they act somehow on orders.
Right.
And somehow when it comes to social development, social skills development and academic achievement, you find that these are non-participatory
Correct.
individuals.
Yeah.
All right. So let us look at the aspect now of curiosity and inquiry. And obviously from inquiry, it's all about asking.
Yes.
It's all about questioning. Yes. So how can parents cultivate their child's natural curiosity and sense of wonder?
Okay. First of all, it is important that children are curious about things. They want to find out what is this? How does this work? Without curiosity, a child cannot be a creator.
Without curiosity, a child cannot be a creator.
No, cannot be an innovator.
Yes.
They cannot be a critical thinker. They cannot be. So they must be curious about something. And they must begin asking, inquiring. That is very key. That's very key.
Curious
so now,
and inquiry.
So how you as a parent, how do you help the child to become curious, and also, that a child is able to make inquiries? They have to learn it from you.
Yes.
So as a parent, first of all, foster a sense of wonder. Yeah. A sense of wonder by exploring new topics and activities together. For example, nature is beautiful. Just take the child around and walk and enjoy nature.
Yeah. Very beautiful. The scenery itself.
The scenery
presents that conducive environment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And a child will be asking questions as you walk through the trees, the birds, and so on and so on. Just nature. Nature harbors a lot of beautiful things.
Certainly.
And the child will be seeing these, and he'll be saying, oh, and he'll be asking you, oh, Dad, what is that? Yeah. How does this work? Oh, I can see a beautiful tree. Oh, look at how these leaves look like. Oh, look, these leaves are green, but these others are orange. You know, things like that.
Curiosity.
Curiosity. So a child becomes curious. Yeah. And of course, at school, they can also get involved in science experiments. So schools also must help in that. But if you're able to create a science experiment yourself as a parent, because we're talking about, parenting tips here, you can also do that if you are able to. Okay? Then ask open-ended questions to stimulate their thinking and discussion.
Open-ended questions.
Okay? So not questions where, what is 1 + 1? 1 + 1 is equal to 2.
2 years.
That's definite.
Questions which are yes or no.
Yes or no. Okay.
Yeah.
But something that stimulates discussion.
Discussions.
Uh-huh.
Inquiry.
Curiosity.
Imagination.
Imagination.
Wondering.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you help a child develop in that area. Then, of course, you can also provide opportunities for hands-on learning and experimentation. Yeah, I'm sure in your home you can create that kind of experiment where a child, must learn something by doing.
Doing, yes.
Yes.
By doing. Hands-on.
Yeah. In our society currently and our education system, we finish our degrees, but we're not hands-on.
Mismatch.
This is public knowledge, Emmanuel. And we're always talking about it, not so.
Every day is in the debate.
Yes.
Yeah. How hiring managers somehow are not finding the right sort of placement because of mismatch between what we learn in universities versus what we're able to do according to industry.
But do you know where it is coming from? Where it is coming from? It's from that age.
Yeah.
Parenting. Because things begin from there.
Yes.
Okay. Then, of course, support and praise effort and persistence in problem solving. Yeah, problem solving. Remember, we've been talking about problem solving all the time because as human beings, we're there to solve problems. Yeah. And so it is important for you to support and praise any effort that you see your child is trying to solve this particular problem.
Yeah.
Praise that effort. Yeah. Even if they fail at that time, but praise the effort. So remember, we are praising the effort. Yeah. In fact, whether the answer is correct or not, what we are praising is the effort.
Yes.
So don't focus on the correct answer. Okay?
But what you're praising is the effort.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, of course, another thing is to encourage your children to ask questions. This is where most of us fail. Just encourage, because you think that, what should a child ask me? And many parents even discourage children from asking questions. You're just killing them.
Yeah.
Really.
It becomes a form of being indisciplined. Why should you question the authority? and the authority being your parents.
Yeah, so let them ask questions. Sometimes you may not necessarily give them answers. Okay? You say, okay, that's a good question. Are you able to find the answer from books? Yeah? Go and look for it. So in other words, you are trying to encourage a child. They've got questions, but there are resources also from which they can get answers.
More answers.
Yeah. So it may not necessarily may not be necessarily from yourself, but encourage them to get from some resources. Like books and of course today, we are in this era of IT. Probably they may also find answers from the internet. And so,
now you have AI, the chat, GPT.
So encourage them,
so on and so forth.
Let them explore all these things.
Avenues. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Prof, as we zero down on our conversation, obviously you've emphasized strongly on encouraging curiosity and inquiry, and obviously suggesting some activities that parents can incorporate into their daily life to stimulate cognitive development. And one of the other challenges somehow is the aspect of positivity. All right. Even as adults, when all hell is breaking loose, the economy is biting, you have challenges booming in left, right, center. The critical test of your resilience is maintaining positivity and also building positive relationships.
Yes.
All right. Now, with all this mounting pressure, as a young parent, I need to learn how to strike a balance between being a present parent who's authoritative, at the same time creating this conducive and enabling environment, which requires resources to sustain it.
Yes.
So, how do positive relationships between parents and children impact a child's cognitive development from one aspect? And from your perspective as an expert in this field, what tips can you offer for fostering health relationships and effective communication within the family?
First of all, positive relationships have a direct impact on the cognitive development. See, anything that is positive, positive interaction, it has a direct impact on the development of our cognitive function. Okay? So, the other way, creating something which is not positive, it interferes with the cognitive development. Okay? And this is why we are always emphasizing, you mentioned the authoritarian parenting and so on. What it does is creating fear in the child. And it simply creates, low self-esteem, which is not good for the child. Okay? So, how do you promote this positive relationships? First of all, you have to encourage social interactions. As I mentioned,
encourage social interactions.
Social interactions, yes. It is good for your child. Let the child interact with peers, because there are other children around. Encourage your child to interact with peers. Let them play together. That is very important. Let them have some activities, group activities. All that is actually impacting directly on the cognitive development of a child. Okay? There are also community events. Take them to, in the community. In the community. Of course, depending on the age. Yes. Community events. Take your child there. Let them be part of those community events within your community. It is very healthy for your child. So, in other words, what we're saying, don't simply keep your child at home, because the only thing they will know is what they know at home. That's all.
That's
and they will not be curious. Yeah, they won't be curious about anything. You have restricted them to your environment. So it's important you expose them to other children. They must learn how to even create friendship. Yeah, they must learn how to introduce themselves and who their parents are. All that is, promoting these positive relationships which help the child to develop cognitively. Yes. Yeah. So the other thing is that you can, model respectful communication and conflict resolution within the family. Yeah. Respectful communication. So in other words, know how to communicate with your children.
Yeah.
Yeah. There must be respect.
Yes.
In the communication. Don't shout at them or don't give them commands. Communicate with them properly.
So that's creating a language-rich environment.
Yes. And of course, when there is some conflict, resolve those conflicts properly. Okay. Teach and reinforce social skills such as sharing, empathy, and cooperation. Sharing.
Sharing is caring. This is what we teach Gabriel and the brother.
Yeah, sharing is important. So let children know that sharing is important. So in other words, you are teaching them not to be selfish. Unfortunately, when I look at our society, many of us are selfish, really. And when you are selfish, it means that you are not very useful to the greater picture of the society. Remember, I have always said that whatever you do, when you are an adult, you are working or whatever you are doing,
business, whatever it is,
you are doing it for the good of the greater society. It's not about you.
I love that. You are doing it for the good of the greater society. It's not about you.
It's not about you.
Yeah.
It's not about you. If you restrict it to yourself, it means you are selfish. And you're not useful.
And the glory must all be returned to you.
Which
makes you relevant.
Exactly.
To society.
Exactly.
All right.
So, and of course, learn to also cooperate with other people. Yeah. And also have empathy. Exactly. So, then of course, support your child in building relationships with extended family members and other trusted adults so that you can trust. In Africa, our families don't end at just nuclear. They extend beyond just nuclear families. And I think even in other cultures where they focus on nuclear families, but they also know
it extends.
That they've got extended family members. Yeah. So it is important that your child learns to build relationships with those other family members and also, of course, other adults. Now, why is this important? So you are again teaching your child that, look, life is not about you.
Yes.
It's not about you alone. You need other people.
To thrive.
Exactly.
And strive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You need other people.
So
your child must get to know. So don't be the kind of parent who simply says, well, for me, it's just me. It's just about my children and I.
Me, my husband, or me, my wife, and my children. Yeah.
You are not adding value to society. You are not a good parent.
This is another conversation for another day,
Yes.
because right now modern families,
Yes.
they're being split.
Yeah.
And their focus now is me,
Yes.
I, my spouse,
Yes.
and my children.
And my children.
But obviously, we will explore it in the near future.
Yes.
How that is posing to be a danger
A danger.
to child development.
Absolutely.
Because if, for instance, we're raising our children from that perspective, where they don't put into consideration the greater good of community, and the greater good involves extended family members, meaning that for them it will be, this is me,
This is me.
and
Yes.
this is mine.
Yes.
And whatever I'm doing,
Exactly.
it's for my greater good,
Yes.
and not that of the community or the society.
Exactly.
So, Prof, as we zero down on the conversation, we can go on and on and on.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
this is so much exciting. The revelations, absolutely amazing. We have talked about creating a nurturing environment, and obviously, from your responses, we've talked about modeling behavior. How does parental behavior influence a child's cognitive development? And obviously, you've talked about creating a language-rich environment. Why me as a parent, I shouldn't be just shouting at my child or calling my child different names. You and do a cheat. You are like that uncle of yours. You will not go anywhere in life. You will not amount
my
to
goodness
anything.
Me. My goodness me. Yeah.
So how does creating a language-rich environment contribute towards child development?
First of all, engage in regular conversations
Okay.
with your child. Communicate
Yeah.
with your child. Discuss a variety of topics. Look at your child as your friend. Not just as your child.
As a child, but as your friend.
But as your friend.
Your confidant.
Because you know, when you have a friend, you know, you engage in discussions, not so. So your child is very much like that.
Yeah.
So engage in conversations. It is also important to read books to your child on a daily basis. Yeah.
On a daily basis.
On a daily basis. Introduce a wide range of books and stories. Yeah. So don't restrict to just one book. Have a variety. Have a variety.
Yeah.
As a parent, be concerned. We have consistently said, the way you bring up your child defines who this child will be.
Yes.
Okay. So encourage storytelling. Yeah. Tell stories. And also your child as somebody will also tell a story.
Yes.
Yes. So encourage storytelling and imaginative play as well. That involve creating and narrating stories. Okay. Use descriptive language and expand on your child's vocabulary during these everyday interactions. Yeah, that is very important. You can bring in songs, there's some games that talk, these word games.
Yes.
So to make language learning fun and interactive. So language learning must be fun. In fact, the whole thing about learning, even when we go into formal education, it must be fun.
Fun and enjoyable.
Fun and enjoyable.
Yes.
Okay. So that's how you can create a language-rich environment. Yeah.
Indeed. Thank you so much for sharing those practical tips for incorporating language-rich activities into daily routines, and obviously sharing nuggets on modeling behavior, promoting positive relationships, encouraging curiosity and inquiry, obviously building a routine and structure when it comes to creating a nurturing environment that focuses on both the physical and also the emotional aspect. As closing remarks, what's your call to action?
Call to action.
When it comes to nurturing, or rather creating a nurturing environment for child development.
Yeah. Parents, and I emphasize parents, and especially you, the young parents. Think about your child. Think about the future of your child. Do not think that just by sending your child to school will make your child great. No. First of all, just from your home. People say charity begins at home.
Yes.
So at home, create an environment that enables your child to grow positively. First of all, just the physical environment, an organized kind of home. Don't throw things everywhere and the child is walking, they're bumping themselves into all kinds of objects outside there. All that there is dirt and all that. Because if that is the environment you create for them, first of all, it impedes the development of the cognitive function.
Yeah.
Secondly, the only thing that they will know is an environment must be a dirty environment, must be disorganized. That is what they will know.
Yeah.
In fact, don't even blame them in future. Don't blame them if they keep on that trajectory, disorganized, throwing garbage anywhere at any time. Don't blame them because you are responsible for that. So create a good physical environment.
Yeah.
And of course, the emotional environment is extremely important. Okay? So the love, the support, create that atmosphere. Parents, once again, this is my call to action. And I think it is important that the young parents need support, again, from all angles.
Absolutely.
From leaders at all levels, from the church and everywhere.
Yes.
Let the young parents get to know that creating a nurturing environment fosters their child's cognitive development so that they grow into responsible adults who can, who have no limit in terms of what they can do, the positive things that they can do. And of course, the positive contribution to the social and economic development.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Professor Yamba, Human Capital Development and also Child Development Expert, in episode number 2, where we've explored the theme of creating a nurturing environment. We have discussed how both the physical and emotional environments play a critical role in a child's cognitive development, from setting up a stimulating and safe space for exploration to fostering a loving and supportive atmosphere at home. This episode covered various strategies to help you and I as parents create an environment that is conducive for our child's cognitive development. Until next time, my name is Emmanuel Chisalo, your host for the Child Development Podcast. together with our resident expert, Professor Yamba Yamba. Catch us in the next episode number 3 of the Child Development Podcast. Thank you. Goodbye. Until next time, God bless.
Thank you.